Okay, guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Caverns of Xaskazien II, where we will be resuming play with our half-elf Tomb Raider named Maya Funsneak. I did make a few changes since the last time you saw the game, since the last time we recorded it, which was for me yesterday. One sec. First of all, I fixed those typos we saw in the few. We saw one in the Blue Lady Welcome event screen. We saw two separate typos actually when we triggered the grease trap screen. I fixed those. But there were a few other things I want to point out as well. Let's go to load game and I'll show you there. Before I do, one other thing I should mention before we dive in. I think we are a few turns, when I load this, we have a few turns past where I quit and saved it where you were watching. I rebooted the game to test and see if something was working. It was, but I think it auto-saved, or else I accidentally just saved it after testing it. So if you're wondering why we're like, I don't know, 35 feet from where we were when we last saved it, and maybe we're not, maybe I'm misremembering, but I think we are. That's why. Alright, so here we are. This is the Hobgoblin Overlord. We were, I think, up here. Here we are. Three other things have changed. The first is, if you look down here, you'll see this now has an S on the button. It used to be a Y. It used to be press Y to, does it still say press Y in here? No, it doesn't say anything. You now press S to toggle stealth mode, because I noticed yesterday when we were playing and I tried to answer yes to a question, but the question had already disappeared, and I accidentally toggled out of stealth mode. I used to notice I would toggle out of stealth mode on a regular basis. That was why. It finally occurred to me it's because Y is a commonly used button to answer yes to questions. So I changed it to the S button for stealth, which is more intuitive anyway. Next thing I want to point out is this dude here. If you can see now, he has a 20% chance summons a Hobgoblin when in sight. Each time it does, 20% chance it loses ability. It was 10% on both those cases before. I tested it yesterday. I looked through the code. I couldn't find anything wrong. I rebooted the game, and sure enough, as soon as I rebooted the game, he frickin' summoned a Hobgoblin. He was working just fine. It's just 10% is very infrequent. So I bumped it up. Now there's a 20% chance they do it, and a 20% chance it loses the ability when it does it. So they won't overwhelm you with Hobgoblins, but they can do it more often. The third thing I want to point out is a kind viewer, and forgive me, I've forgotten the person's name. I apologize. Mentioned something that I myself was noticing the last time we played. I've heard through the years from many people that the sound effects from monsters can be too frequent, to the point where it gets kind of annoying. I didn't used to feel that way, and I'll explain why in a minute, but when I was playing, or when I was watching the videos back, I noticed it, and I was like, damn it, I should change that. And then it suddenly, after responding to that individual, I suddenly remembered I already did change it. There are a million options in the options menu that you can avail yourself of, but let's go do that for now, for one. Monster SFX frequency. As it says here, the sounds monsters and NPCs make can give valuable clues about the nearness and types of characters around you. Some people may find them irritating if too frequent, however. Left-clicking this will raise the frequency at which monsters and NPCs make sound effects. Right-clicking will lower it. Let's lower it. At least lower it by 1. Let's put it to infrequent, and I'll see how that is, and we'll put it down to very infrequent if you want later. You can see I've got the volume all down here. There is volume for the music separate from the volume for the sound effects. There is this thing you can do. You can turn the monster health bars on or off if you want them off. Player health bar on or off. This determines how much information you get down here. We leave it at basic. I like it at basic. This is the level where you get the most information. But if you want, you can toggle this up to expert. You'll get very little information down here. It makes the game streamlined and faster, but at the expense of clarity. Likewise, this is actually how much text you get over their heads and shit, how much detail it gives you. You can get even more information if you want by putting this down to like basic, but I like this at expert. Go figure. Yeah, autosave frequency right now is every 30 turns it autosaves, so I probably played for just enough time, like 30 turns wandering over here, and that's why it's saved, and that's why we're not where we were when we left off. Lighting effects on or off, you can turn that off if you want. It's very subtle right now because there's not a lot around us, but you can notice here, for instance, near the fire, a little bit of flickering light. If you're playing on a slow machine, an older machine, and there's a lot of light sources, like a lot of lava, that can speed things up. If you don't like that blood pulse that comes on when you're dying, turn it off. We can toggle the screen mode here. I'm not going to do it right now because we're recording, but you can. This is how often the computer will listen for your key presses. If you put it higher, you might run the risk of it double keystroking. If you put it lower, it might not notice when you're pressing keys. I find this works for me, but if it's not working for you, change it. If you wanted to, you can go back to an older font. Originally, when I made the game, I tried to match this as much as I could to Caverns of Xaskazien, which had a very distinct stylized font. So when I first changed to this, which is much more readable, I was worried that some people might miss it, so I left it in. As you can see, I haven't really accounted for the fact that it doesn't always work out anymore. It's still in there for the sake of having it in there, but unless you're hardcore that you really want to see a frickin' gothic font, this is a lot easier to read. If you toggle this off, if you pass your mouse over something that's been dropped, it won't list what's there. If you turn this off, you can see these. If you refer the sleeker, no key bindings thing on here, prettier. Just turn it off. This affects a lot of things. When we auto move, you can control how often the game will stop your auto move. This is the default, but you can change it to all kinds of different things to give you more freedom to keep walking if you don't want to stop. You don't want to stop as soon as you see a monster. You can say only stop when I bump into a monster or something. This is the safest method, but it is a bit slower if you're trying to auto walk and there's lots of monsters popping out of the darkness. You can change how often it tells you that you're carrying too much gold, like that you don't want to pick up more. Always do it only when carrying gold or only when gold is full. I leave it at this. If you put it to always, then say you're not carrying any gold and you can pick up more gold here than you can carry. It's going to warn you, hey, are you sure you want to do this? But what option do you have? So there's no real reason to leave it there. I find this works best. And you can change as well. I told you when you do things in the game that affect the god's attitudes, it'll scroll over your head, say, Alumis is pleased, and you get plus 20 faith. But anytime you do anything in the game, it is impressing or upsetting some god. I guarantee you, it doesn't matter what you do. You can turn a corner and suddenly some god's like, I didn't want you to turn that corner, and it'll affect their attitude towards you. Not literally turning a corner, but you know what I'm saying. If you leave it on always, I think it'll give you every single. It doesn't matter what god it is. It doesn't matter how minor the god is. If you do anything that affects a god, it's going to scroll it here. But sometimes you do things and there's like 12 gods that are affected. This will be only when you upset or please one of the 12 major deities, which are the most important ones. And this is only when it's your own deity. I just leave it on that. This will quit the game and give you a high score. It'll end your game. Don't do that unless you're sure. It'll give you a prompt to make sure you're sure, but there you go. All right, we're ready to go again. Make sure I'm recording. Wouldn't that suck? Sorry, I got to do this all the way back to here. Where the hell is my OBS Studios? Yeah, we're recording in full screen mode. Sorry for that. I think that's all the changes I have made. Let's try and keep this guy alive as long as possible, because summoning we can kill hobgoblins pretty easily and get experience for them. Unlike some games where monsters are only an obstacle, or some games where they respawn, they don't respawn on this. If you've cleared a level, there are no more monsters to kill. If you've cleared a level of all monsters, and you've gathered all the treasure, and you've interacted with every square, there's no way you can gain more experience on this level. And if there's only a staircase down, you're forced to move on. It's not a game where you can say, I'm gonna farm monsters at my own pace and wait. You have to move on when you have to move on, whether you're ready or not. So one of the objectives of the game, of course, is to find as many ways as you can to keep the experience flowing before you move on. That's why you almost always want to take a side passage like a layer or a ladder up. Or, if you can find a way to not progress downwards, that's usually a good thing, because it gives you more time to gain experience. That's the way you can farm. Or if you find monsters who can summon things, let them summon as much as they will, so you can kill it. Unless their monsters are summoning, of course, are tougher than you. Last thing I'll tell you, we didn't mention this. This is a deeply slumbering dragon's horde. The first time you enter this square, you gain from 1 to 10 times the dungeon level in gold pieces, and 1 to 10 times the dungeon level value in gems, and a trinket of some value. A trinket would be great for us. Maybe we'll grab one on the way out. Entering the square, though, leaves a % chance equal to your dexterity, or 90, whichever is lower, of avoiding waking the dragon. If your stealth mode is inactive, you will automatically awaken it. You'll find 1 to 50 gold pieces, 1 to 50 worth of gems, plus a trinket. And our chance to sneak past it is 60. Let's not do it right now, because if a dragon starts chasing us around, we'll have to flee. But maybe right before we leave the level. I want to see this guy summon, man. Why is he not doing so? I've seen him do it. I know he can do it, and now it's set to 20%, so he should be doing it by now. There is something that seems wrong. To me, it feels like there is. I don't know. Let's go use the Wheel of Fortune. We'll keep him alive as long as we can, but we'll gather gold while we're doing so. He'll only summon, of course, if he can see us, so we're going to have to keep him somewhat in view if we want to have a chance here. There's a stupid mosquito. Let's try and avoid bumping into it. We're not set to kill it. We've got it turned to don't kill things that'll kill your that'll piss your goddess off. But I don't want to fight it if I can avoid it. The final thing I should mention, I've noticed when I play this game in particular, I speak very rapidly. Oh, look at this. Polished fur armor. Let's put that on instead of our hide armor. Hide armor gave us 15 defense. It was also down to 22% condition. Let's get the hide armor. The polished. Oh, we already have it. Polished fur armor. At 56% condition, it gives us base defense 20. It also makes us immune to gaze and basilisk snare. 25% chance monsters die when they gaze at us. So we already have the hand mirror, which gives us a 50% chance to avoid those effects. This will 100% avoid it. If we hit a basilisk snare, if a gorgon looks at us, if a catablopus looks at us, it won't hurt us in any way. It can't, as long as we have this armor on. And there's a 25% chance that the monster itself will drop dead, because apparently our fur is so shiny. And I guess it's made of like Christmas tinsel or something. I don't know. But we'll take it. We'll keep the hand mirror anyway, because we won't be carrying this forever, probably. What was I saying? I talk very quickly when I play this game, and that is because, A, I'm always excited when I play this game, but B, there is so much content in this game. I say that, I hope it doesn't sound just immodest, but to the best of my knowledge, to the best of my experience, and as you know, I play a lot of roguelikes, in terms of pure quantity of content, there is more in this game than any other roguelike I've ever encountered. Ever. There's more by far than any other roguelike I've ever encountered. And for that reason, every time we round a corner, there's like a new square we haven't talked about, or there's a new monster we haven't talked about, or we find a new weapon or a new magic item we haven't talked about. So this, if I take my time, it feels like I'm going to be explaining things forever. So I tend to talk very rapidly. I'm trying to consciously avoid that now, because I sound like an idiot. Oh, there, he summoned a guy. There's a hobgoblin he summoned. Let's go kill it. It still feels like he's doing it very infrequently, but I double-checked, or triple-checked. It's 20%. It should be one out of every 5 of his turns, not of our turns. It's 1 out of every 5 turns that he gets to move. He should do it. He moves at about half our speed, so maybe 1 out of every 10 turns that we can see him, he should do it, roughly. I'm not sure exactly how that works. I forget. Alright, we leveled up here. New racial perk, Infravision. This perk allows you to see most monsters 1 square beyond your normal sight range. Also note that when in sight means when he has us in his sight. He can summon monsters if he can see us, and he can see for like, I don't know what it is, 15 or 16 squares. We can find out right here. Can we? No, I guess it doesn't tell us here. There's no information, no room to fit it. One of the drawbacks to the system I used of saying, you know, point your cursor at anything and the information appears in this window, is that I am confined to fit the information in that window. In some ways that was a blessing when making this game, because it forced me to say, hey, if a monster is too complex, you know, I won't spell it. Let's put it to very infrequent sounds. Let's do that. If a rule is too complex, I won't put it in here. So it forces me to dumb down some rules that were otherwise getting unwieldy. But sometimes it just means you just don't get the information you need fully. You get almost everything you need, but occasionally there's not quite everything you need. In the bottom right corner of this, by the way, in case you've ever wondered, see the Hobgoblin Overlord, the bottom right corner is a little frowny face. That's that monster group's attitude toward us. You can monitor that here. He's a goblinoid. You can see that little frowny face, dislike. It means all goblinoids have +10 to hit us, which is reflected in his attack. It doesn't turn his attack green because it's not his attack is not unusual for a hobgoblin. All goblinoids would have it, but he would normally have attack 42, I guess. Or else it doesn't reflect it in the number there. Maybe it's just innate when he attacks. I forget, to be honest. But I assure you he does get +10 to hit us. Don't want that thing biting us. It can give us tsunami fever. Don't want that again. Hide helm. Let's not forget, I think we left somewhere on this level, maybe this is awful condition, let's get rid of it. Oh, a confusion trap. We are confused. Our movement is randomized for the next 60 turns. Unlike Rogue or something where you can, if you get confused, you can pass your turn to say I'm not doing anything. Passing your turn here just moves you randomly. There's nothing you can do to stop it. You are at the mercy of the random number generator. I mean, you can still cast spells and shit. Yeah, we stepped in the square, so we're trying to answer the riddle. We failed. But there's nothing you can do to prevent it. Aside from, of course, I could cast Recuperate, which would get rid of this right now. But I don't want to. It's not that big a deal right now. We're not in major danger. Of course, pointing your cursor at it, we can watch it count down. Now, let's see what's on these shelves. Nothing. A light healing spellbook. Let's learn that spell. It is a low-power sorcery. Good, we get sorceries cheaper than other things with our Ironbound spellbook. The spell restores 3 to 6 health to you. Your health cannot exceed your max health. If we look, of course, there are a maximum number of spells we're allowed to learn. That's based on your memory skill, which we have at Untrained, which means a maximum of 7 spells we're allowed to learn. Now, we are carrying the Mnemonic Enhancer, which is a magic item that allows us to learn 3 extra spells. We're only allowed to learn 10 spells in the whole game, unless we get our memory skill up or something. But there we go, we have 5 out of 10. If we were to drop that Mnemonic Enhancer, as far as I know, as far as I remember, I might change this for the next build, actually. But say we had learned 10 spells, we dropped the Mnemonic Enhancer, we would now have 10 spells learned out of a 7 possible maximum. As in, you only need to have it when you're trying to learn the spells. I may change that. I may make it if your number of spells you're allowed to learn drops below what you've learned, it'll start randomly deleting spells. I think that's a good idea, actually. I think I'll do that right after this episode. I like that idea. Let's go ring this bell and see what shows up. We saw the gong before, of course, where we could summon a monster that would fight for us or a monster that would fight against us. This will summon a monster that will fight against us or an NPC. But nothing happened. Let's get this gold. Let's bring it to the Wheel of Fortune. It sounds like he summoned another monster. Yeah, he did. Now we should keep an eye on him. He will lose... Oh, you can see right there. That's the last one he's allowed to summon. His text changed to can no longer summon hobgoblins. There's a 20% chance, of course, every time he summons one that he can't summon anymore. So that's it. And now he's running. Let's chase him down after we've killed this hobgoblin. There we go. We've killed enough goblinoids that we've earned their hatred. Instead of having plus 10 to hit us, they have plus 20 to hit us. Is that reflected? So it's not reflected in the attack number here. It's reflected in their odds. Our defense is so high that it makes no difference right now. It should have a 52% chance to hit us, except because of this, it's down to 43. Because of this, it's down to 37. Because of this, it's down to 17. And because of our dodge ability, it's down to like negative 13. But a monster can never have less than 10% chance to hit you. Nor can you have less than a 10% chance to hit them. So that's why it's what it is. Might as well open this little meat locker, see what's in it. Uncooked beef, uncooked venison. Are there any cooking fires we've seen on this level? There was one, but it's already gone out. Cooking fires will extinguish after a certain period of time. Hide armor you don't need. Let's try and repair stuff. Let's try and repair our dirk. Nope. Again, we can search this junk pile. As you can see, if we fail, or if there's a 10% chance that it'll collapse on us, causing 3 to 9 damage for every 10 levels deep we are. But we don't need improvised weapons or armor. We have good weapons and armor, so let's not even bother. Apothecary cabinet would contain potions, potentially. Yep. This is a clay urn. If we smash it, it is a liquid-filled urn. We find a random drink. A burial urn. We find a random magic jewelry. A different type of burial urn. We find a random trinket. A different type of burial urn. We release a random spirit, or it's empty. Oh, we found an amulet of hopping. Let's throw that on. Let's drop the extra unknown potion. We mentioned color coding. The black ones are things that can be equipped but are not yet, as opposed to yellow, which can be equipped and is. The gray is you can't do anything with this right now. Like, it has no effect at the moment, and there's nothing you can do with it at the moment. These would turn blue if we were standing on a cooking fire, because if we're on a cooking fire, they become clickable to activate them. That's why they're gray right now. That's why this, underneath the polish for armor, we can't highlight it, because it's just bulk from the polish for armor. The polish for armor takes up 2 inventory slots. That's why the one underneath it is gray and in brackets. It's telling you this is also the polish for armor. Incidentally, if you have I believe if a random inventory item is destroyed, I could be wrong about this. It picks a random number from your 1 to your whatever inventory you filled. So I think this might have like 2 chances of being destroyed when something gets destroyed, because it takes up 2 inventory slots. I could be wrong about that. Oh, the amulet of hopping. If we wear this, our strength will act as plus 50% when we're leaping over pits. So we'll have an easier time jumping over pits when we're wearing that thing. Let's wear it for now. Let's go to the temple. What am I doing? Oh well. Should get our gambling skill up again next. We're using it a lot. Oh, a hobgoblin. Unsurprising in the Hobgoblin Fortress. Leather cap's better than our hide helm. Can we wear it yet? Requires 50 strength. Yep. Let's drop our hide helm, which is at 1% for God's sakes. Put on the leather cap. 93%. Now we do face a danger with this Tomb Raider, because as a Tomb Raider you can see they may never gain advanced armor use. Advanced armor use would allow us to use mid-power, like mid-range armors, and expert armor use lets us use heavy armors. So we are confined to wearing light armor for the entire game. Now you can find light armor at any depth. You can find rags or scraps, whatever the hell it is, on dungeon level 30. It's just not likely. The deeper you get, the more likely it is you find better armor. There's still a random chance you can find lighter armor. There's also still improvised armors which can't go above light. That's the best there is. But in general, once we find better light armor, we're going to want to keep that stuff functioning, because we're not going to find a lot of good replacements as we progress the game. And if it gets destroyed, we're going to be unarmored. So although we probably will never learn it, it might be worth learning the repair skill for us, even though it would cost us 3 skill points, because if we don't, unless we find some other way to repair our stuff, we could be in trouble later on. Let's bring our 4 gold to here. Oh. Ah, shit. Well, let's finish what we're doing for the moment. Bring it to the temple. Let's go see what's in the secret compartment. We have a chance of opening it equal to our intelligence over 3. Or 90, probably, is what it usually is. No, just intelligence over 3, so if your intelligence is high enough, you'll open it instantly. Gotta just keep trying. If you're wondering what that little symbol is, we see him with infravision. Our vision range ends right here, but because of our infravision, we can see him a little further away. It's just a low power scroll, let's not use it. Let's grab this. Let's try and get back here, man. We've almost got our... Oh, we got our faith back in the black. Look at that. We have 1 faith point. It's not going to do anything for us, 1 faith point, but we are back in our god's good favor. Goddesses. Now, if you're wondering why we haven't seen the bad shit start happening, even though we've passed the warning, you can see right here, you've lingered long on this level. Leave. Linger warning. This is just a reminder that you've already been warned for lingering on this dungeon level too long. Each turn you remain on this map, there is a 1% chance of a decidedly negative event occurring. So us getting those 3 negative events in a row was just bad luck, but it could happen at any time. Do we want to drink from this? Healing would help us. Acidic would hurt. Curative, we don't need. Poisoned would suck. A jelly would be too tough for us to fight. If we map the entire level, it would not be great. But look at the strength, agility, and wisdom versions of the... maybe I'll try it. Alright, Fountain of Wisdom. We gained 3 points of intelligence. That's alright. Alright. There we go. Steam burst eruptions again. They're going to start appearing. It's once every what? Every turn there's a 1 in 30 chance that a steam burst eruption occurs somewhere on the map. Now, the last question we have, let's drop off our gold. We already did. Do we want to grab this to try and get a trinket? Where's the stairs? How do we get off this level? Up here. If we're going to do that, let's leave in the hallway. We don't need this. Let's drop this. Dropping the meat as well for the moment. Let's go get the gold and gems from this guy. And also a trinket. There's a 60% chance we won't wake him up, but if we do, we'll have enough room to take the trinket no matter what. Even if it's a big trinket, it'll fit. So we don't have to waste a turn dropping something and picking something up to get it. And if we don't want the trinket, we can grab the beef and shit on the way out. So we got 8 gold pieces, 48 gold worth of gems, and a gold earring, which only took 1 inventory slot, but is worth 110 gold pieces, more than that for us, of course. And we woke up the dragon. It bit us for 6 damage. It breathed fire on us for 6 damage. We're on fire for 6 turns, which means we're going to take what? We'll take fire damage equal to 1% to 5% of our max health every turn, with a minimum of 1. This damage will not be lowered by fire resistance, though pyrophilia effects will still convert it to healing. This status will be removed immediately if you enter any kind of water or pool square. Let's just try and run, man. Hope we don't die here. Ouch. Let's eat our charred beef. Got back 13 health there. Let's grab up everything we dropped here. Well, these 2 anyway. Don't need the armorer's art. Well, let's grab it anyway to sell if we need to. And let's get off this level before this guy catches us. Damn it, we gotta get through this steam burst as well. Is there a way to get around this way? No, we'd have to go through the pendulum blades. We're gonna have to charge through the steam. It does 1 to 5 damage to us. We could wait it out and see if it clears. The steam at least can't set us on fire. Oh, there, the mosquito died in the steam as well. Fuck me. Ouch, man. Do we have any way to heal? Yes, we do. Let's go to here. First of all, let's cast Light Healing. We have enough spell points to cast it a few times. Got back 6. Got back 3. Got back 4. And got back 6. Alright. Let's drop the Armorer's Art for a minute. Let's use the Horn of Plenty, which got us rum. I'll keep that instead of the book. Rum, if we drink it, we can drink it once. It will raise our dexterity by 50 for 60 turns, but our strength will get halved for those 60 turns. Good to have on hand if you have to quickly dispatch a monster that's hard to hit. Let's go. Down we go. Basic weaponsmithing. If you remember, we found that book on weaponsmithing a while back. We have advanced armor smithing and basic weaponsmithing, so I think we have a 20% chance of creating a new weapon every time we go to a new level. We created a main gauche. Let's take a look at this. Let's drop the dirk. Let's take the main gauche. Let's reorganize. This does 1 to 6 damage. This does 1 to 10. Let's switch to the main gauche. There is a smuggler nearby. Let's try and get to him to sell him our earring. If we can. There he is.
You looking to sell something?
Yes. My gold earring, sir. For 165 gold worth of gems. Thank you. We'll keep the rest for now, in case we find more trinkets. Let's just make sure there's nothing else going to hurt this guy.
I'm in a buying mood.
We do have him to worry about, although we hit him a lot easier than he hits us. He has 19% magic resistance, 100% fire resistance. He takes 25% extra damage from cold. He's flying. He has a 10% chance of driving us insane every time he hits us, this lesser demon. But he's not that tough. We can probably take him down pretty fast. Let's try and take him down before he kills the smuggler. There, it's dead. Alright, how are we doing for experience here? We need 702, we got 477. Unlike some games, as you see, your experience like resets to... Like, you spend the 702 experience when you level up, and then you need to get experience again to get to the next level. It doesn't keep track right here of all your experience. I think it does in... These are your stats. If you were to go down deep enough in this, you'll find anecdotal stats. Like, this is all information that's useful in the game, technically. But down here, this is stuff that's not useful. But just so you know it's here. The toughest enemy we've killed so far is a lesser demon. We've killed 69 enemies in combat. We've killed no other enemies by any other means but combat. The most combat damage we've ever done in a single blow is 16 damage. The most combat damage we've ever taken in a single blow is 18 damage. We've received a total of 127 damage in combat across the entire game. We've earned 4,537 experience across the entire game. Of that, 3,197 of it was from kills, 1,087 of it was from dropping stuff off at temples, 253 of it was from other sources, like those damsels we rescued, for instance. We've fallen in 2 pits. We sprung 8 booby traps. We've not detected any pits. We've disarmed 1 trap. We've taken a maximum of 14 damage at a go from something other than combat, like something on the map itself. And we've taken 76 damage in total from map features, like the Steam Burst, for instance. Just so you know it's there. Let's put that back to where it's supposed to be. I should add a button that says, "Hey, go right back to the top" on this. I'm enjoying working on this game. Again, I can't spend too much time on it. Stop the Saturnians is a commercial venture. This is free. I was unemployed for the bulk of the pandemic, aside from a bit of acting work here and there, so I need to make some money. But
something I can take off your hand.
Let's keep this on hand, but I don't think we're ever going to learn it. So I got to concentrate on Stop the Saturnians, but I am enjoying putting a little work into this. That wisp will teleport around. Let's try and kill it before when we have the chance, so it doesn't teleport around and kill the fucking smuggler. Another leather cap. Let's look at that shortly.
Something I can take off your hand.
There was a cave-in this square. You can't see cave-ins before you step in them, unless you have a map or something, or some ability that lets you detect them. You could automatically detect them theoretically. You have like a 10% chance or something of detecting it when you're standing next to it, baseline. Unless you have secret detection. That can help you see cave-ins, as well as pit traps and secret doors and everything else. What was I going to say? But
I'm in a buying mood.
because we triggered it, we do have mining skill, which grants us a 50% chance to... Advanced mining skill gives us a 50% chance to avert cave-ins when they happen. That's another one of those guys who could have killed us with a single blow, but the odds are really, really slim. We still have the meat. Let's go up to this cooking fire right away and use our meat. Let's cook the uncooked beef, charring it again. We can eat that for 13 health again later. This one, the venison, if we cook, we can now eat it to get our max health increased by 1. If our cooking skill was high enough and we had a cooking pot, we could eat that venison to get back 5, or to get 5 max health, and get, what would that be, 65 health back with our beef. Cooking skill can be very, very powerful, but it obviously relies on you finding meat and finding cooking fires and carrying that meat around while you're looking for cooking fires. Unless you have skills or spells that allow you to create cooking fires, then you're golden. Implements of War. We're going to have to learn this sooner or later, so let's keep this. As a matter of fact, we can learn it right now, can't we? If we look, we have weapon use to the basic level. Basic weapon use allows us to equip light weapons. Advanced weapon use allows us to equip medium weapons. Now, of course, we need 60 strength to learn an advanced warrior skill, which is why I said let's try and get everything up to 60 at least, as fast as possible, so in case we find a book, we can learn it. We can. And now, for the rest of the game, we can use medium weapons as well, not just light weapons, if we so choose. I'm not going to risk my gold in this Wheel of Fortune. Not this amount of gold. I doubt I could, actually, now that I look at it. We'd probably carrying too much. Yeah, we can only have a maximum of 180 gold before it won't allow us to gamble. Skeleton's dead, but our wooden buckler's broken. Finally. So our defense went down. Again, homunculus table probably. So just for the record, if we tried to use it, we'd have a % chance equal to our intelligence, or 90, whichever is lower, of succeeding. If we succeeded, it would create a summoned homunculus that would walk around the map trying to fight on our behalf. The homunculus is awesome because it has 100% physical resistance, so unless a monster has ability to do some other kind of damage, it's not going to hurt it. But I don't want to risk it exploding and causing damage to us. We don't really need it right now, so let's not bother. A map, okay. We need to find the temple to drop this shit off. There it is. Oh fuck, I think we just lost a smuggler. We don't want to fight this guy if we can avoid it. There's a smuggler. I guess we have to fight this. We can't risk it killing it. Sorry, we're going to get back in her bad graces again. Let's take this from selectively fight. Just so you know, if you right-click this instead of left-clicking it, it gives you a list of all the monsters you can choose not to fight, or monster types that you might choose not to fight for some reason in the game. Everything in here, killing it's going to offend some god or something. You know, there's some bad effect to killing these monsters somewhere along the line. The only two we care about is insectoids, of course, because killing them will piss off Alumis. The reason these are set to don't fight is because, as I mentioned, all golems have 100% physical resistance, so unless you have some means of damaging them, attacking them is just going to wear down your weapon fruitlessly. So it automatically says don't fight them. But you can toggle that off if you find a weapon that can hurt them or something. Either by right-clicking this and saying, you're toggling this on or off, left-clicking, or by switching this entirely to, this is don't fight anything. If for some reason you want to say, I don't want to kill anything, I don't know why you might want to, but you might not want to. And this says kill everything we meet, or try to fight everything we meet. So let's just switch to that. That's the easiest way to override your god's desires, if need be. I'm sorry, Alumis, man, but that had to be done. This is also an insectoid. Let's not fight it. It's slower. It's a rust monster. It can destroy a piece of our armor when it hits us, if it hits us. Let's put this back to... Actually, let's leave it at go ahead and fight in case we do bump into it, but let's try to avoid it. Uncooked pheasant. Let's go cook that right now. Fucking wisp. And let's eat that. Oh no, it gives us spell points. I thought it gave us faith points. We don't need that right now. Man, I don't want to deal with this guy. A giant fly, in particular a giant fly hero, or champion, the bloated one. As you can see, his attack is higher because he's this particular unique giant fly. Now these are another monster you might want to keep alive. Just like we wanted to keep the Hobgoblin Overlord alive, it might be wise to try and keep him alive. He will replace any non-golem corpse he lands on with a giant maggot. Non-golem and non-giant maggot. I guess I didn't have space to put that. Replaces any non-golem, it should say non-golem, non-maggot corpse with a giant maggot. Seeks out any non-golem, non-maggot corpse in its line of sight. So if it sees anything out to its range, it will go over and turn it into a giant maggot. We want it to do that, because giant maggots aren't that hard to kill, and we can get experience for killing them. So let's try and lure it. Oh, there, it already got one. Now the maggots, on the other hand, will also seek out any non-golem corpse in its line of sight. Not even just non-maggot, they'll go for maggots as well. But when they do, they destroy the corpse, and then they gain... their max health goes up, or their health jumps up, so they can become more and more powerful by eating corpses. So you want to kill them fast. A, before they get more powerful, and B, so that they don't eat corpses that this guy could otherwise turn into giant maggots. So let's try and avoid the bloated one, and kill the maggots off. Still using our Ring of Ponderous Mass. Oh, I forgot. I forgot entirely. Let's not do that, guys. Let's leave these things the fuck alone. Totally forgot. I'm an idiot. You're probably listening to me say that and thinking, Jeff, you're an idiot. And man, you were right. Surprising Thief. The Surprising Thief is a normal thief, but the green swirl means it's a variant of a thief, a variant of this monster. The Surprising Thief is invisible unless it's in an adjacent square. There we go, we leveled up. Finally. Got our 14 attribute points. That's 3 extra for being a half-elf, and 1 extra, which we have a 50% chance of gaining 1 extra every time we level up, because of some half-elf perk we got. I forget what it's called. We got this perk as well now. New class perk, Better Safe Than Sorry. Once per map, you may left-click this perk to give each booby trap and paper trap on the map a 50% chance of being revealed. It will not reveal pit traps. That's awesome. So, first of all, let's put our points in here. I think strength again, guys. We want to carry as much treasure as we can. Then, let's use that ability. Better safe than sorry. We detect one booby trap. If we look around, we'll be able to see where it is because we have the full map here revealed. Unless it's on something. There it is. So this chest is trapped. We now know it's trapped. Because of our disarm skill and because of our disarming tools, if we were to try and open that, we would have 2 consecutive 50% chances to disarm it. If we fail, then it would spring it. Oh no! The object is actually a mimic. So it looked like an object, but it's actually a mimic. It's immobile. It can't go anywhere. Let's kill it. It's an aberration. As you see, aberrations get random resistances. This one has a random resistance to acid. Not that that matters to us right now. This is a beehive. This square gives you the option of trying to steal a honeycomb. If you try, you have a percent chance equal to your intelligence over 2 or 90, whichever is lower, of avoiding taking physical damage equal to 5% of your max health. Regardless of that outcome, you then have a 50% chance of stealing honeycomb. Each time you steal some, there is a 25% chance the beehive becomes dormant. Should the beehive cause poison damage? Wouldn't that make more sense? I don't know. I'll consider that for the next update. We don't need a honeycomb right now, so let's leave it alone. Drop all of that off. Pick this up. We want this because, of course, it's a trap kit. Let's drop the rum. No, let's drop the sharpest. Let's drop the rum. Pick up the rope snare trap kit. This is another one that's not going to hurt the monsters, but it would paralyze them and make them dizzy, so it would make them easier to fight for a little while. Not to mention making them easier to run away from if we so chose. Let's not use it just yet. Maybe we'll use it right here to try and... No, we don't want to use it here, because if we paralyze ourselves, we're going to have to fight those insects. Oh, they killed the fucking smuggler. Alright, let's kill this wisp, unless it's an insect. It might be. It is. Let's leave it alone. Alright, the last thing we want to do, really... This is not a buried object, don't forget. It's a grave. Buried object is different. I think the necromancer is the one who gets the perk that allows him to dig up graves easy. I think. Could be wrong. Maybe this guy will get it. Let's go try and disarm this and open it. Damn it. Booby trap. We sprung it. As a poison needle, we become poisoned. Unless resisted, poison needle traps inflict poison. We did find 31 gold pieces. Was that worth it? No. Alright, we could be in a little bit of trouble here, guys. Let's take a look at our poison status. While poisoned, your character loses health equal to 5% of your max health, with a minimum of 1 every 10 turns. So raising your health is not going to help keep you alive from poison. You want to raise your poison resistance. Each time you lose health from poisoning, there is a chance that the poison will leave your system. This chance is largely based on your poison resistance skill, though for some characters other factors may come into play. For us, every time we take 5% of our... Every time we take damage, every 10 turns, we're going to take 3 poison damage. And then there will be a 5% chance the poison leaves our system. If it doesn't, then 10 turns later, we're going to take 3 more poison damage until it leaves. We're going to have to try and restore our health constantly while we're walking around here. Which may mean, hey, we should go to a new level. May mean, hey, we should pick up an unknown potion if there's one around, in case it's a curative potion. I don't think there are any things around, is there? Dirk. So we have a couple of options, guys. Well, we could do that. I'm going to suggest... We have several options. We could go to here, bet our gold. It could give us more gold, which we could then turn into a temple and get closer to leveling up. On top of that, it could make our goddess happy. Yay. Once we've done that, we could move up here to be near both of these things. If worse came to worse, we could pray at this altar. We'd have a 54% chance of getting all of our health back. But that would leave a 46% chance that we're instantly killed. I don't think we have... Oh, we have the cracked halo. If worse comes to worse, the cracked halo will save us. So we could go do that. That's a surefire way for us to survive for a while. We could also dig around in the beehive, hoping to find honeycomb, which could help keep us alive. But that's a last-ditch thing, because when you eat honeycomb, yes, it does make you, it does heal you, but it makes you monster attractant, which means monsters all know where you are and kind of come rushing over to try and kill you. And given everything left on this map is an insectoid that we don't want to kill, I don't really want to do that. So I'm going to suggest we go here. Let's try and avoid this guy. We are dropping. We can take right now our eat our charred beef. Let's also use our Horn of Plenty, see if that gives us anything. Blackberries. Of course, we do have our healing spell, of course. Let's try and stay on this level for a while to avail ourselves of these different methods of keeping ourselves alive until this thing leaves our system. Alright, let's go to the... we could do that again, of course, but I don't want to. I want to use this money. Oh, fuck, there's him, too. There's a Taskmaster I can hear as well. The Taskmaster, if we meet him... There he is. Bumping into him right now, he'd cause us 6 damage, but we'd gain 60 experience. He'll do that 5 times. Means we can get a maximum of 300 experience out of him, which would not quite be enough to level us up, and would probably kill us in the process, given we're poisoned. So let's, fuck. Let's leave him alive for now. We'll come back to him later if we, find a chance. Not going to use this unless we have to. Let's stand here for a minute. Matter of fact, let's start casting some healing spells. I should consider adding in a check as well. If you're about to cast this healing spell, it can give you more health than you have. That it says, "Are you sure you want to do this?" I should add that. Let's eat our blackberries. Alright, give us back tons of spell points. Let's wait here a bit longer. This is our ace in the hole, this altar. But I don't want to use it unless we have to. Because I don't want to waste our cracked halo. Alright, let's cast some more light healing spells here. Alright, let's eat our charred pheasant. Got us back 15 spell points, not a lot. Not enough to cast it, unfortunately. Nothing else we want to do on this level while we're waiting, is there? I don't want to dig this up right now. I think that's the last thing we're going to want to do on this level is use that. We don't have any more meat to cook, do we? Again, don't want to risk using the rope snare in case it tangles us up. Because we spring it and catch ourselves in it, and then that monster comes up and fights us, and then we have to kill it, and we piss off our goddess. Let's wait until we're at the last possible second. Then we will use the altar. We'll automatically be safe. If we have a 54% chance of nothing bad happening, we just get healed. 46% chance we would drop dead, but our cracked halo will save us unless there's a bug in the program. And then we will make our way to the exit, one way or the other, because there'll be no other way to save ourselves staying on this level. Let's lure this guy away a bit so he's not like hanging around our fucking salvation. Come here. Monster intelligence monsters, or animal intelligence monsters, will not... Oh, fuck. Alright, let's go get it as fast as we can. Let's do it now, because if we wait another 10 turns, this guy's going to be on us, and he could kill us. So let's do it now. Pray at the altar, yes. Alright, the gods healed us. We did not drop dead. We're still poisoned. There's nothing else on this level really that can save us aside from possibly this. Might be worth considering. But I'd rather just get out of here. Now maybe I'll grab it on the way by. Sorry, man, I wasn't trying to do that. Although he was a hero, so he drops an item. We have found a boomerang of aberration hunting. Let's take a look at that. Let's drop our old dart, maybe. Or no, let's drop our dagger. I have reasons, I promise you. No, I don't. Keep our dagger. This would be like our dart. It would give us distance strike, so 33% chance monsters don't get to fight us. One thing I didn't mention with missile weapons as well is they have no strength bonus. The higher your strength, you can get extra damage when you do melee attacks. Like here we have a... you have a percent chance equal to your strength over 3. So 74 divided by 3 for us to do bonus. We can tell right here, actually. We have a 24% chance of doing an extra 1 to 7 damage based on our bonus strength when we're using a melee weapon. If we started using the boomerang, we would lose that extra damage, but we would gain the 30% chance to not get attacked. Let's grab these as much as we can. We're stung for 3, but we did get a honeycomb. Let's do it again until we're filled up. Matter of fact, let's eat one right now. Get back 1 to 12 health, become monster attracting, we got back 5 health. And that's it. Let's get out of here. Where's the stairs? We need to get downstairs as fast as possible. We need to find more ways of healing. Or finding, you know, some way to get rid of our poison. Now, because we came down to map level, we have all of our spell points back. So that's good. We're already monster attracted. I don't think this will double up. Like this, we have it for 35 turns. Let's just eat it now, right? That makes sense? Found a fur cap. Made a fur cap, rather. Let's do it right now. Get back 1 to 12 health. And it just put us back to, 94. Maybe it does add up. Maybe it's a random amount. I didn't really notice, to be honest. I should have checked that a little closer. Alright. So what I was saying earlier about every time we round a corner, there's new shit to point out. We know what this is, a wizard chest. This is a fairy dragon. 50% magic resistance. It has a 10% chance of making us hallucinate every time it hits us. It is an insectoid/worm. We don't want to kill it. Giant weasel, they can burrow. This is a leaping giant weasel. The yellow spinny thing means it has distance strike. So 33% chance we don't get to fight it back when we fight it. We know what that is, an object. Here's a bunch of pits. That's a narrow, open, poison spiked pit. Don't want to fall in that. This is silver. It's like gold, but you find less. It gives you gold when you pick it up. It gives you half what you'd normally find from a gold pile. Also, there are certain abilities you can have, skills, that increase the amount of gold you find. They won't work on silver. We know, of course, that is papers. This is an automated gnomish armorer. If we were to use it, every item in our inventory, every weapon and armor would have a 75% chance of being repaired back to 100%. But if it doesn't do that, then it's destroyed completely. So you want to, if you want to use this, if there's any weapons or armor you really want to preserve, drop them in the square before you enter there. Then go ahead and use it, and then come back and pick your stuff up that you didn't want to put through the machine. We do need to pick stuff up, like potions. Let's try and do that as we walk. That is a vortex. As you can see, this square gives you the option of entering. If you accept, you will be taken to a new map, randomly chosen to be 1 level up, 1 level down, the same level, a layer commensurate with your dungeon level, or a legendary land commensurate with your dungeon level. We haven't seen any legendary lands yet this game. Legendary lands are pre-made, pre-designed maps. We don't have any gold to throw down here as well. Damn it, a booby trap. Small blade trap does 8 points of damage. As you can see, it gives you the details. It was capable of doing 6 to 18. It did 8. Let's open the wizard chest. Maybe we'll find a wand of poison curing. A stonewall wand. A staff of creature summoning. And a wand of frost breath. We're not going to carry any of these for long. Let's drop the stonewall wand, though. Pick up the staff of creature summoning and let's use it. Oh, we can't. It's too big. They take up 2 inventory slots. For the moment, drop that. Pick this up. And let's use it. It has 4 charges. Like all wand staffs and rods, because we're untrained in wand lore, we only have a 25% chance of success when we try to use it. And it uses a charge whether we're successful or not. But if it does work, it'll summon a mid-power monster of animal intelligence to fight for us. There we go. A wild boar came to fight for us. That thing will probably kill everything on this level for us if we let it. Including the fairy dragon, unfortunately, which might piss off our god, but whatever. There you go. It's worth it to get some salvation here. Let's take... I don't know if we used our skill point last time, did we? Did we? Let's find out. Got a new racial perk, Longevity. This perk gives you a 33% chance to avoid having your max health lowered anytime that would happen. If it fails to do so, it will lower the amount of max health lost by 33%. So we will always lose 33% less max health than we should if we were supposed to lose max health. And there's a 33% chance that we don't lose any of it. Let's take, though, to save our lives, we have 3 skill points. Fuck it. Let's put it into poison resistance and poison resistance, which means we now have a 11% chance every 10 turns that we stop being poisoned. And let's put the rest of it into dexterity so we get closer to getting advanced poison resistance. We still have 1 more point to spend, which we can't spend on this because we don't have 90. We don't have 90 dexterity. Maybe I'll spend it on... Maybe I'll spend it on... These are the only 2... You can see, because we're a Tomb Raider, general skills only cost us 1 skill point, and rogue skills only cost us 1 skill point. But if we want to get a mage skill, it's going to cost us 2 skill points. If we want to get a warrior skill, it's going to cost us 3 skill points. Oh, fuck this again. Sorry, guys, I don't know what's happening here. Obviously, it's something to do with my computer acting up. Again, if you ever encounter this in the game, let me know. It tells you here as well, we can get a maximum basic of this. It also tells you up here our maximum trainable warrior skill level is advanced because of our... I believe because we're a Tomb Raider. No, it's because we're probably a half-elf. No, expert general skills, yeah. We can't ever learn general skills past the advanced level, yeah. Not warrior skills, though. Why this? Is that an error? Is there a reason for this? I.e., is it true? This for sure is because we're a half-elf. It tells us right here. You can never gain... Where'd it go? They can never gain expert general skills. Tomb Raider can never gain advanced armor use. But it doesn't say anything about warrior skills. I'm going to write this down as a possible error to investigate in between games here. Half-elf / Tomb Raider. Max warrior skills? Let me see how long we've been playing here, guys. How long we've been recording. How do I do this? Just about an hour, actually. Let's call it right there. I'll investigate that right now. In case you didn't notice, by the way, the version number of this game has increased because I made some bug fixes and some improvements. But yeah, I'll look into it right now and see what's going on with that. Talk to you all soon. Q for quit and save. You sure you want to quit and save? Yep. Quit. And stop recording as well when we get the opportunity. There we go.